checking out the new Xiaomi Mi Mix 2, which is the update to last year's Mi Mix full-screen smartphone from Xiaomi. Now, the Mi Mix 2 is actually a successor to the original Mi Mix that was launched last year, which was Xiaomi's first full-screen smartphone. Now, Mix 2 has a couple of notable improvements over the Mi Mix last year. First of all, it comes in both a standard and a special edition, and I'll get to the differences in a second. The biggest difference that you're going to notice between last year's phone and this year's phone, though, is that it is smaller. This is now a 5.99-inch screen, which is still huge, but because the screen is pushed all the way to the edge, it makes the phone feel smaller than it did before with a 6.5-inch screen. Of course, the screen is the star of the show here. It is an edge-to-edge panel. It goes all the way to the top edge of the phone and the sides. There's just a little bit of bezel here below it. It's an LCD screen with a wide color gamut, and it's got 1080 pixels of resolution, so it's not quite as high-res as a Samsung screen or something from LG. But it does look really nice outdoors, and it's really vibrant and colorful. The other things that are really notable here is Mi Mix's ceramic back. So this is a ceramic back on the standard model, and it kind of melds into a metal frame here on the side. Now, if you opt for the special edition, it's an actual full ceramic unibody, which Xiaomi says is the first phone on the market to have this kind of feature. The back just kind of like morphs into the frame of the phone. It feels really great and premium. It's really, really nice. It's also really, really slippery and super fingerprinty as well. So it does come with a case in the box, but you know, then you cover up how pretty it is. So that's the difference between the special edition and the standard model. So one thing about ceramic, while this happened, is it's more resistant to scratching than glass. So that's one of the positives of using it over, say, Gorilla Glass. However, it is more brittle, which means that it shatters easier, which means that if you drop it on a corner, it's probably gonna break. Like I just did, it fell about, I don't know, 2 feet to the ground, and I heard it break. I don't know if you heard it break, but there you go. That's the problem with ceramic phones. Now, inside the phone's got a Snapdragon 835 processor, which you can get with 64, 128, or 256 gigabytes of storage. It comes with 6 gigabytes of RAM in the standard model. If you opt for the special edition, you bump that up to 8 gigabytes of RAM. That's a lot of power and a lot of performance. Pretty much just like any other Snapdragon 835 phone I've used this year, it's really fast. So it's got a 3,400 milliamp hour battery that's going to be pretty long lasting for anybody, even if you're a power user. For me, it's easily lasted all day in the multiple days that I've been using it. One thing it doesn't have is wireless charging. Even though it has a ceramic back, there's no wireless charging, so that's a little bit of a bummer. Other interesting things, it's got dual SIM card support, so you can actually run 2 SIM cards at the same time, and it supports over 43 different network bands, which means it actually works here in the US. I've been using it on T-Mobile, and I've pretty much had signal everywhere I expected to, wherever I've gone, which is kind of unique for Xiaomi phones if you're familiar with them at all. It's got all these specs, it's loaded with premium design. Obviously the big screen is the big star of the show here. So what's missing? Well, it only has a single camera. It's a 12 megapixel camera with optical stabilization, f2.0 lens. It's got large pixels. It takes decent photos. There's really nothing to complain about with the camera. It's not going to give a Galaxy S8 or a Google Pixel any competition, but it's a fine camera. The other thing that it's missing, there's no water resistance here, so if you get it wet, you're kind of screwed. And there's no headphone jack. It's just a USB-C port on the bottom. It does come with an adapter in the box that will let you put standard headphones on it, but you can't just plug headphones directly into it, and it doesn't come with a set of headphones either. So those are kind of the things that you are missing out here. Now for software, this is running MIUI 9, which is based on Android 7.1.1. This is Xiaomi's custom version of Android. It really looks quite different than the Android you might get from Google on a Pixel or on other phones. It mostly looks like iOS, which, you know, personal preference, take it or leave it. But it is very customizable. You can theme it and make it look different ways pretty easily as well. Now the Mi Mix 2 is going to be out real soon in China. It's going to start around $500, goes up to over $700 if you go for the full special edition. And then it's going to come to Xiaomi's other markets across the world. But sadly, it's not coming to the US, which is kind of the story with every Xiaomi phone, no matter how cool they are. So you can't buy that here, but if you are able to buy it and import it into the US, the cool thing is it'll work here, which is kind of neat.
This is iPhone 7. It makes all the things you do with your iPhone better, faster, and more powerful. 2 new finishes, black and jet black, highlight its seamless design. A new camera captures shots you never could before. That's because its larger f1.8 aperture, new sensor, and 6-element lens enable brighter, more detailed photos and videos. And optical image stabilization allows for a longer exposure, so you get even better images in low light. The Apple-designed image signal processor analyzes every shot to automatically deliver the very best results. And the quad LED True Tone flash illuminates brighter and farther. iPhone 7 Plus also features a telephoto camera. The 2 cameras operate as one, giving you 2 times optical zoom and high-quality imagery when you zoom even farther. The new Retina HD display with a cinema standard wide color gamut is the best and brightest ever on an iPhone. It's also the first iPhone with a stereo speaker system, delivering a powerful, immersive audio experience. The enclosure has been entirely re-engineered to make this the first water-resistant iPhone. It's driven by the A10 Fusion chip, the most powerful chip ever in a smartphone. High performance and high efficiency cores let you do the majority of your tasks at a fraction of the power, giving you the longest battery life of any iPhone. iPhone 7 makes the things you do most even better. It's the best iPhone we've ever made.
Dual Sight streams both front and rear cameras at the same time, requiring extraordinary processing power and pushing every part of the system. This demands a bespoke solution. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 mobile platform provides the power without compromising battery life. An ultra-wide cooling pipe dissipates any system heat, and a graphite shield spreads it across the full body of the phone, keeping your Nokia 8 cool and sustaining maximum performance.